The vision, a world where all people live free of the burden of drug abuse. This is the Drug-Free America Foundation's Pathway to Prevention podcast, where we are committed to developing strategies that prevent drug use and promote sustained recovery. Thank you for not only tuning in, but your continued support and efforts to help make this world a better place. We hope you enjoy this episode. Okay, listeners, I am excited for today's episode. So first off, I got to tell you, I've been looking forward to this conversation for some time. Once I heard about the amazing work that Rima Saade Turk is doing in Lebanon with people in recovery and also alternatives to incarceration. So without further ado, Rima, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Dave, for this opportunity. Thank you for Drug-Free America also to giving me the chance to share my experience with you.
Well, Rima, would you mind sharing where in the world are you located?
We are located in Lebanon, in the Bekaa, in the capital of the Bekaa, in Zahle.
Marvelous. Well, I've been looking forward to connecting and having a great conversation. And for our listeners, would you mind sharing a little bit about your organization and your background so we can get to know you a little bit?
Yes. Our organization is named Nusroto Al-Anashid Association. Nusroto is a Syriac word. It means chants of joy. It was named by Nusroto because we started with a choir with the same name to celebrate concerts and events everywhere. And we continue with the organization with the same name. But our organization role currently is to rehabilitate drug users, to integrate them into society to become as productive individuals. And also we are working with juveniles. We have a shelter for juveniles to re-educate them into our shelters for 12 months. And we have a mental health shelter where we have some cases from different nationalities, from Lebanon, from Syria, from Palestine, and also from Iraq. And Nusroto as well is active into prisons. We are serving prisoners at social, psychosocial, and medical, and services at all levels. We are implementing currently into prisons 3 projects. We are in collaboration with the Prison Fellowship International, and Nusroto is representing Prison Fellowship International in Lebanon. FI is based in Washington, D.C., and they are organizing programs based on the restorative justice way in order to decrease the repetitive crime into prisons in more than 140 countries around the world. Programs of prison fellowship, we got the grade excelling in Lebanon because we gave the program for around 75% of prisoners number in 23 prisons in Lebanon. In addition to that, Nusroto has an academy for music and for vocational training. We have many students from drug users and from juveniles and from beneficiaries and from outside also. We are working on to teach them instrumental music and solfege and theory. And all of them know the importance of the music on the behavior of people around the world. But when it comes to our recovery program with drug users, First of all, Nusroto is member in WFAD World Federation Against Drugs, based in Sweden, and which has many more than 400 organizational members from around the world, and more than 400 individual members also from around the world. So, and I was elected in the board international of WFAD since 2014, 2016, 2018, 2020, and 2022. So we are working with WFAD, and we are organizing with them many international forum and regional conference. In 2017, I organized a regional forum in Lebanon on drugs treatment and prevention in collaboration with WFAD. So in our rehab center, we have two rehab centers at Nusroto, inpatient and outpatient center for male and for females. And the recovery process at Nusroto is first of all the detox in the hospital, then the integration process to the rehab center, the adaptation, spiritual treatment, psychosocial treatment, in addition to many other programs which can help the patient to recovery, such as sport activities and life skills. Then the reintegration process is both in our handicraft workshops at Nusroto, also at Nusroto facility, and in the factory of detergent, which is a cleaning product related to Nusroto, as vocational training also for drug users, to let them find a job when they reintegrate into society. But before what inspired Nusroto, when we were into prison in 2001, we were giving a session to prisoners, singing session, spiritual session. We met a guy who was seated on the floor and shivering. We asked the internal security, what is the matter with this boy? He said he is a drug addict. In that time, we did not know what is drug addicts, how to feel, what you can do, how we can help them. But after collecting data and did many search about it, we decided, a group of volunteers, I was one of them, to establish a center for drug users. And we started in 2005. It was based only on gardening and on spiritual treatment. And the impact was wonderful. More than 30% were well recovered and received a strong spiritual background. And after a few years, they got married and built family. And to sustain also in what they got, ex-drug users always practice prayers. They live the teaching of God to stay in reconciliation with themselves and with others, which allow them to live in peace away from drug. And we are sustaining our rehabilitation, and we are continuing our mission with drug users in the center. For sure, we are facing many challenges because we are living in Lebanon, where the economic crisis is increasing day by day. The crisis in Lebanon is fueling drug dependency. That's why the number of drug users is increasing. Not only Lebanese, also refugees, because in Lebanon, as you know, we have more than 1,500,000 Syrian refugees, and also a huge number of Palestinian That's why after COVID-19 and during the crisis, the number was increased.
You all are doing a lot of work to help others. It is inspiring. It absolutely is inspiring. I'd like to learn more about your work in the prisons. How did you go about getting to work in the prisons with the prisoners, the people who use drugs?
I would like to share my personal experience into prisons and other also, but for me, it's my pleasure and it's a successful day for me when I go to the prison and when I meet with the prisoners, giving them sessions based on the restorative justice way. Um, as you know, when we give, it's a source of joy. And in Lebanon, the prisoners are drug users are vastly overrepresented in the prison population. That's why they are in need for program to support them, to listen to them, to reduce recidivism and negative effects, to find for them a safe place, or to encourage reform, something like that. That's why we are implementing a project based on the conflict resolution. The conflict resolution by by in by giving communication skills to avoid violent communication, and we are giving also a program named the prisoner's journey. The prisoner's journey, it's a spiritual program to bring hope to broken people. And currently in Lebanon, due to the strike of lawyers and due to the stop of courts, no court session in Lebanon. So many prisoners are attending their court session to be released outside the prison. So there is a big need into prison to help the prisoners, to encourage them, to support them, to talk with them, and to esteem what they are. So that's why I love too much to visit them regularly, to give them session, to listen to them, to interact with them. And recently, I achieved the program with prisoners, and we celebrate together the graduation session and the celebration. And I asked the head of prison to meet them and to listen to them during the graduation session. It was really well appreciated from prisoners because I let them meet the head to listen to their needs. So it was a wonderful session. It was also touching session.
I love how you said you listen to them, you talk with them, and help bring them hope to see who they are and what they can be. Can you give me some more details on the prisoner's journey? What does that journey entail?
Yeah, the prisoner's journey is based on the Gospel of Mark from the Bible. So the Gospel of Mark is chosen because it is the shorter Bible, where there are many examples about forgiving. Okay, about how forgive, how to share our story with others, how to confess, how to share, and how to forgive others, and how to build peace, how to build peace with others in order to have a good relationship. it was very successful. As you know, in the prison we have prisoners from different religions. Even the non-Christian prisoners were involved in the program and were interested to listen what is happening, what the Bible is saying, what God is saying, to follow Him in order to take the right way, and in order to be well reintegrated into society.
Incredible. And with the prisoner's journey, is that how those individuals can then work in creating the products, the disinfectants, the cleaning products for a job? Or how do prisoners get connected with that?
Yes, for sure. Yes, for sure. It is for prisoners, as it is as a halfway house. As you know, the halfway house process or program is to give the prisoners the chance to be well reintegrated into society. But how to apply it? Into our factory of detergent, where the ex-prisoners can learn how to make detergent, or how to be a salesman for detergent, or how we can do some products for floor, or disinfectant, or for toilets, or for washing, dishwashing, and even for clothes, and for a softener also for clothes. So ex-prisoners can learn everything about this product.
And what do you see as the importance of offering the employment, the education for those prisoners?
Yes, the impact is so important, and because they can't find a job once released outside, to not um, to not um, to not go through deviation for many times, to find a job, to be productive, to work, to get married, to have a family, to change the way of their life to the good drive, to the good way, to the good to have a healthy life, to have a beautiful family, to join good persons into society.
Marvelous. Now, did I hear correctly that you all work with youth as well? What does that look like?
Yes, we have a shelter. We have a shelter for juveniles, aged from 6 to 18, and we are working with them. We are supported by UNICEF, and also by the Ministry of Justice and the Court of Juveniles in Lebanon, because we are the official center in Lebanon who represent the Ministry of Justice. That's why we are working professionally on juveniles, and we are doing a different activity with juveniles. For example, case management through a case manager specialist, parenting intervention with their parents, working on the positive language, not the negative language with their children, and also how to on the discipline mindset to change what is negative for something positive. And also we are working with them on hygiene, personal hygiene, domestic hygiene, environmental hygiene. And also we are giving them sessions on literacy, because some of them without a school yet. So, and when we finish the literacy session, we enrolled them in schools to give them the chance to continue their education. And also, we are working with them on the psychosocial support, on MHPSS program, mental health and psychosocial support, and also on the level of psychosocial support for some of them who have some mental health problem, and also for their parents to let them know how to treat them, how to talk with their children. And one of the main things in the program is the life skills with juveniles. We are working with juveniles age 7 to 11 years on a way which is in line with the SDGs 3 and 4. The SDGs 3 talking about child health and well-being, and SDG 4 talking about the quality education. We are working with children on self-esteem, emotional awareness, coping skills, verbal and nonverbal communication, problem solving, creative thinking, critical thinking, empathy, decision making, and online safety. However, with children aged 12 to 14 years, also, which is in line with SDGs 3 and 4, we are working with them on decision making, on time management, communication skills, goal setting, conflict resolution, group dynamic, and coping skills. So it is so hard to work with, but we have many animators, we have many monitors, and also we are preparing to increase the number of juveniles to receive 45 juveniles from different age. It will be also supported by the World Bank, by IRC International Rescue Committee for 12 months.
Such a comprehensive approach to working with the juveniles. I absolutely love how you are approaching that, not just focused on one area of growth, but the whole child approach. What have been some successes or stories from the youth that have been working with you?
Yes, many of them were already enrolled in schools, and we saw that they have currently a good behavior. They know how to take a decision, how to think, how to live healthy, how to think, how to the sense of giving, also the safety, friendship groups, the respect of others, the respect of themselves and for others. When we see how they are interacting with others, how to communicate with their friends, with the peers, uh, we are so proud of what we are doing with them, because when we re-educate juveniles in our correctional center, we reduce the percentage of crime.
What advice would you give to our listeners who want to work with youth?
I would like to advise that only prevention can protect the new generation from drugs. For example, to share programs that are based on social emotional learning framework, to strengthen the protective factors during early childhood, with the aim of avoiding risky behavior at later stages in life. Uh, as you know, many countries around the world were legalized the single use of of cannabis and of marijuana and also, as you know, in different countries where the cannabis were legalized, the percentage of deaths were increased. For example, in Canada, 10% of deaths were increased because of the legalization of marijuana. So that's why to protect our youth and to protect the new generation, only prevention, only prevention is useful because I believe and I'm convinced that many countries and many, if I can say, governments of different countries are searching the economic gain of legalization, because when you legalize, you commercialize. So I believe in prevention and not the same prevention strategy for all countries. We have to set a prevention strategy specific for each country based on their environment, rules, government, and also the location around the world where they are. So that's why prevention is the best way to protect children and youth and the new generation from the hidden epidemic drugs.
That is incredible. I wrote down what you said because it is so powerful. Only prevention can protect the future generations. Thank you for that right there. That makes my heart happy and filled with joy.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
What kind of work are you doing with the parents of the juveniles?
Yes, with juveniles, we are working with them how to treat their children, how to listen. They have to listen their children, to not use negative language with children, to not be violent with them, to respect them, to learn them how to live, how to go through a healthy life in our society, especially with Syrian, with refugees who are living in camps in Lebanon. So it is hard to live in camps. You can't have your rights as you can't have your human rights. So that's why we are pushing them to be aware of what we are doing with them, what they are, how they are treating them, and also and especially how to convert or for example the violence in a good way, or something what is negative in a positive way, how to build their personality, how to push them, how to encourage them to be well educated, to how to get, for example, a job when they will be adults. And sometimes we are working with parents through our social worker to find a job, at least for the fathers, the head of the family, to let them live in a good way, to let them have what they need. So we are doing what we can do, because, as you know, in Lebanon, the economic crisis is destroying everything, and even we can say that NGOs in Lebanon is replacing the government. And I would like to shed light on something so important, that the Lebanese government doesn't have a rehab center for drug users. They are relying on NGOs who have drug rehab center such as Nusroto. And they are not so many in Lebanon. We are only 6 NGOs in Lebanon who have inpatient drug rehab center for male, and we are only 2 NGOs in Lebanon who have a drug rehab center for female. One of them is Nusroto. And all of us know well that the side effects of drugs are are biggest than the side effects on men. So women are affected by drug users, their health, and something like that. So the work with female drug users is so hard in the rehab center.
That is fascinating and inspiring to hear the breadth of work that you all are doing and the impacts that you're having with the individuals in prison, and when they are released from prison, the impacts you're having with the juveniles and also with the parents. And I heard a common thread through all of that work. It was to listen to the individuals, to listen to them. What other advice would you have for our listeners working in prevention, working in treatment, and working with those in recovery?
I would like to say, don't give up. Please don't give up. It is too hard to work with drug users, but really it's so hard to work with them because we have to work on their health, on their behavior, on their education, on their mind, on their future also. And as you know, the drug addiction is a chronic disease. That's why, because they are victims of environment, they were falling into drugs. They are, in my mind, victims of their environment, or victims of the lack of prevention's way in their countries or in their area. That's why our duty to support them for life, to support them for life, because the addiction is a chronic disease. That's why after detox and after rehabilitation and after reintegration, their reintegration into society, our duty to support them, to follow up with them for long lives term, to give them the chance to live away from drugs.
I love it. You had shared that you work with WFAD. Would you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, it was a pleasure and a big opportunities to join WFAD. It was in 2012 when we applied for a membership to join WFAD. And as Nusroto, we got a big chance and big opportunities because I was elected in the international board in the WFAD during the international forum in Sweden in 2014. And also I had the chance to meet Her Majesty the Queen Sylvia of Sweden, who supported too much the mission of WFAD. And so when I met her, I took too much about the situation in the Middle East of drugs and the wide availability of drugs, especially in Lebanon, because I'm living in the Bekaa area where there is a wide availability of drugs, where there are many factories of manufacturers producing the captagon. And as you know, the captagon is a chemical pills used by Hezbollah during the war in Syria. So that's why I stressed on the situation in Lebanon, what is happening, also what we are facing, challenges and something like that. And Her Majesty, the Queen, showed me that she wants to support us to continue in our mission. So, and we continue with WFAD to attend many conference around the world in collaboration with DARE, in collaboration. And as you know, the international president currently of WFAD is Amy Renhausen, who is the president of the international board and who is also the executive director of Drug Free America. By the way, I would like to say hello to Amy and to thanks a lot her for her effort in the WFAD for organizing many webinars on drugs and many conferences around the world. WFAD is a huge umbrella connecting with and collaborating with UNODC offices in Vienna to fight drugs, to keep the new generation away from drugs, and also one of their aim to support women and child rights and working for a drug free world. WFAD gave me a big experience and a big opportunities to network with many experts and specialists from around the world during their conferences. I would like to say thank you, WFAD, for your work globally to keep children away from drugs, and hope to do more and more to protect youth from the hidden epidemic.
And listeners, I will put a link for the World Federation Against Drugs website in the show notes. One last question for you, Rima, before we close out this conversation. How can our listeners learn more about Nusroto or the programs that you are doing?
They can go through our website, www.nusroto.org. Nusroto, it's Nusroto. And also through our social media account, www.facebook slash Nusroto, Nusroto. They can go through our websites and links and to know more about Nusroto and connect with them or send any question to give them answers about what they want. And I would like to say that we are receiving patients from different countries, and even from Sweden. We had in the last years patients from Sweden and from the Arab countries, also not only from Syria, from Kuwait, from Dubai, from Egypt, also from different countries. So we are welcoming any patient from around the world, and we are ready to help them, to treat them into our centers, to become productive individuals into society.
You and your team are amazing, amazing individuals, and you're doing incredible work. I can't thank you enough for taking time to join us for this conversation. And you are changing this world. You are creating positive change. So thank you very much. It has been an absolute honor.
Thank you so much, Dave. Thanks for your time, for your question. Thank you so much. I would like to say a big thanks for Drug Free America for this invitation and for this interview. Thank you so much. Hope to join you again.
That concludes this episode. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and share this episode with a friend before you leave. And we look forward to seeing you on social media, because prevention is better together. Together, we are stronger.